Welcome to this, which I can't believe, 8th episode of Talented Universe so far this week on the 26th of September in 2025. Anyway, I'm going to introduce my co-host first. Liz, how are you doing, Liz?
I'm doing really well considering what we've been doing this week. So, yes.
Yeah, and you had to tell me I had counted wrong and we had more than I thought. But, I'm glad you're keeping me honest, But I know you try. You try. And Marcia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great here in Northeast Florida. We're keeping an eye on the Atlantic. There's some stuff brewing out there, so blow hard and keep it out there.
Blow it away. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Marcia, would you do the honors of introducing our fabulous guest for tonight?
Yes, I'm so happy to welcome Victoria Andrunik, who is with us today, and we are going to talk verticals. We're going to talk some other things. And first, welcome, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be number 8 of the week.
Yes.
Looking forward to chatting.
Wonderful. And Victoria, I promise Michael I get it out of the way. You are a fellow New Yorker.
I am.
And you were born on Long Island, is that right?
Yeah, born and raised in New York, so just right outside the city on Long Island. And when I turned 18, the second I turned 18, really, I got my butt here and got a little apartment. And it's been great. I love it. I'm such a city girl. So yeah, New York City has my heart.
So you're actually in the city now. You're in Manhattan?
Yes, I am. I am in Midtown Manhattan currently.
Oh man, you're making me homesick already.
Come back.
I was born in Harlem and raised in Queens, which a lot of people don't consider Long Island, but it is on Long Island. We know that.
It's like a good opinion.
Yeah. Right. And you also went to Hunter College.
I did. So also a Manhattan school.
Yes.
I decided to go to a CUNY. I had some very opposite interests, so I needed a school that did both. So I studied not only theater, but I studied psychology as well. So it was great.
And you also have an interest in animal care and advocacy.
Yes.
Is that something that you went to school for at Hunter or other places?
It is. So I, at Hunter College, not only did I study human psychology, but I studied animal behavior and conservation. So I studied wild animal psychology as well. I volunteered at Central Park Zoo for a few years. I worked at a rehabilitation center where we would get injured wildlife in and nurse them back to health and release them back into the wild. It was really, really great. But when I graduated college, the hours of both, I just couldn't do both at the same time. And so it still has a special place in my heart, and I would love to work with animals again, but hopefully down the line.
Now, when we think of New York, we don't really think of wild animals. So how did that work?
So many pigeons. So many pigeons. If you can imagine, maybe for like an hour or two a day, we would let them free fly around the center, and there were maybe like 100 of them.
Oh my goodness.
And it was the most chaotic thing you've ever seen. And the building is a New York City building as well. So basically, the clinic is a closet, and there's just pigeons everywhere. A lot of pigeons, a lot of squirrels, a lot of possums, and I saw my first great horned owl in person there. Really, mostly birds in New York City here. Yeah.
Okay. And probably my last New York question for now is, are you a sports fan? Are you a...
You know what? I love a Yankee game. I love a hot dog. I love a beer. And I'll have myself a great time watching the game. I don't follow sports though.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's okay. I'm a Mets fan.
Okay.
But hey, Queens, I figured, yeah.
Queens, my family are Mets fans as well. I hate to admit it, but no.
I knew they had to be said there somewhere. Coming on, living on Long Island, I knew they had to be there somewhere.
Those Long Island folks.
Yeah. So let's dive into how you studied acting in school, and then I know you have done a lot of independent films, and one I saw that particularly interested me was Lovesick.
Yes, good find.
Was that done while you were in school, or?
So yes, I grew up in theater, and I stopped doing that once I went to college. I found a love for film and television that I had never quite experienced before, and so I decided just to go all in on that. So for the first few years of college, I was just doing short film after short film after short film. And later in my college career, I booked Lovesick, which was a film that the team was based in Montclair, New Jersey. So we shot in New Jersey. I think it was 3 or 4 days. And it was a little zombie romantic comedy. I call it the Zomcom Rom-Drom. It was so much fun. And that was I think it was before I had my first experience with special effects in Hell House Origins, one of the first features I did. But Lovesick was definitely the most unique film I've ever done. And so to sit and watch the zombie makeup be done, and we had to kiss at the end of the film, and I would I would miss the part of his mouth and just right on the zombie face. I'm like, let's do that again. But absolutely right up my alley. I love anything scary and weird and freaky. And it was so much fun. And that team, actually, I became really close with, and the DP of that film was just a DP on a film that I had written with my friends that I was just working on, called Sometimes Candles Burn. So I met a lot of my creative partners through that as well, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. And just for those who haven't seen it, can you give us a little synopsis of what Lovesick is about? A young lady who has, Yeah,
absolutely. It's about this shy high school goth girl. Her best friend passes away, and that was her rock. And so she's left with her senior year. She's alone. She's an outcast, and she has a crush on the popular jock at her high school. And while visiting her friend's grave, she accidentally summons him back from the dead, and they go to prom together. And it's really fun. She kind of uses that to get with the jock, and he finds out, and there's a whole thing, and it's really, really fun. You can find it on YouTube, actually.
Yeah. And the makeup is very scary. I wondered about how you dealt with that.
Yeah, a lot of prosthetic. It looked really, really cool in person.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm going to pass it to. You wanted me to go to Liz?
Liz, go to Liz. Yeah.
Oh, the horror queen fanatic over here. You take my horror questions, Marcia. Seriously.
She's done more, though.
Please.
But actually, we're going to kick you back a little bit. Then I'm actually going to touch on some of these things that Marcia had brought up. When you first started, you started acting very, very young. I believe your first feature film you did, you were 5.
I was.
How did you get into that? I want to hear the backstory of this.
Yeah, it's a really funny story, actually. So I'm really glad you asked. So growing up, I have an older sister who's 5 years older than me, who is my best friend in the world, and she was also pursuing acting. And so we were doing theater together, and she had a manager, and so my mom was taking her to audition for these roles. And in 2000, 2006, maybe 2007. She booked the lead in this independent horror feature. And it was filming, I believe, in, I want to say like Massachusetts or one of the surrounding states.
Yeah.
And so my mom had to take her, and so she had to bring me and my brother as well. And when we got there, the first day on set, there was an actress that was supposed to be playing a younger version of my sister, and she did not show up to set. And my mom was like, I have another one, and I like raised my and they brought me right in. I think I was in maybe 2 or 3 scenes, and it was the most fun I've ever had. I remember in no way the movie was appropriate for an 8-year-old. So I remember seeing it in theaters and my mom just like covering my eyes for a lot of it. But it created a fascination with horror movies for me. And so I was obsessed with going to the video store and choosing like the scariest cover I could find and bringing it home and making my family watch it. And it's kind of funny because I just had my first movie in theaters nationwide this year, and it was a horror movie. So it feels very full circle for me. Yeah, I would love to do more of that.
Oh, I bet you would. You, like I said, you're built for horror with some of the stuff that you have done. I mean, the Hell House franchise is remarkable. When I found out that you had done that, both my daughter and I are huge, huge horror fans. So it was like, oh yes, this is right up both of our alleys. And I know you had a lot of fun doing the Hell House stuff as well.
Yes.
So
2 movies, crazy.
I know. And when you did this last one, I was like, okay, is it, because I'm a crime junkie. I watch every crime story there is out there. I sleep to it. That's my relaxation thing. And I'm like, this story sounds oddly familiar. And I honestly had to research it to see if it was a fictitious story or if it was actually based on something. And I was really surprised to find it wasn't actually based even loosely on something. So that really surprised me.
Yeah, the writer-director, Stephen Cognetti, I mean, he's so great at creating that lore and really going deep in on that where it really does feel real. And so, yeah, I think we did a good job of creating that little backstory, and I'm glad that it all kind of came together in the last movie. I'm glad we were able to do that.
Yeah. You had also, and I believe this was in high school, I don't think you did it in college, you had done a stage production of Carrie. So, I mean, right there, and there are, believe it or not, little clips of some of your original stuff out there on YouTube that can be found. If you search hard enough, you can find some of these things.
I don't know if I want to.
You were cute. You were great.
That is so funny. No, yeah, that was when I was a teenager, and I was lucky enough to be seen for a couple of auditions for Mike Flanagan's new Carrie series.
Right.
And that was just a dream to even just audition for, because I love Stephen King so much and Mike Flanagan. And yeah, I was so excited to do that show. I mean, a horror musical? Come on.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's absolutely so great. I know
we just need horror verticals now, and then we're all set.
Well, yeah. And I know there's one particular vertical actor who is working on a horror, but I think it's going not to be a vertical. I think it's actually going to be a mainstream that falls under something that you years ago did. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Rage at Playhouse 46.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And because now, I mean, did you have a chance to go back and see anything before they closed it down? Because they closed it down.
They closed what down?
They closed Playhouse 46 down.
Oh.
They couldn't keep up with the economy and everything that was going on.
Oh.
So she had to close it down. And I have a lot of friends that are in the Hell's Kitchen area that kind of generate to that particular community. And a lot of the things that they had produced and the projects that were coming out. So they were very upset with it. And I was curious if you had a chance to go, because you were still in New York, had a chance to go see any of the last programs.
No, I haven't. I mean, the director of Rage, a good friend of mine, Tony Patron, is I'm sure still directing shows and creating shows for that venue. But that's actually news to me. I didn't know that. But I'm not surprised, honestly. I mean, I can't imagine. There's so much theater in New York City. I can't imagine how much that rent was. And
oh yeah, even though it was subcontracted out within the church itself is its own little thing.
Right.
They were sharing a lot of stuff between the soup kitchen and other things that the church was doing as an outreach, as well as, the stage and play production.
Yeah. I really loved that venue too. It was really nice.
No, I agree. And I think they shut it down this January, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, not so soon after.
Yeah. But one question I was hoping Marcia did not get to, because she is a huge Mermaids fan.
Okay, you're stealing my question.
Well, you already stole multiple of mine, so fair is fair. Do you want it, Marcia, seriously, or do you want me to take it?
Go for it.
Okay. You played not only in The Little Mermaid, but you played Ariel in The Little Mermaid. How absolutely cool was that? Was that like coming back to a childhood, fantasy type thing? Did you watch Disney movies growing up?
Oh my goodness. First of all, the lore that you are pulling out right now, I'm so impressed. So I loved Disney movies growing up. I had a little mini television, and I would sit in the corner and I would just watch Aladdin, and specifically The Little Mermaid 2 when she has a daughter, over and over again. And so I would dress up like every year for Halloween as a Disney princess, and I did go as Ariel. So not only did I get to play her as a late teenager, but I also got to play her in a junior production when I was 13 in middle school. Wow. So I got to reprise that as well. And yes, it was so much fun. That was the last musical theater show I did. So it's been a while, but it was such a fun one to go out on, just because of the production level of everything that goes into it. Because we were underwater, we got to wear Heelys as characters, little shoes with wheels. Ooh. So we had training rehearsals. I had to learn how to go backwards on them. I needed to learn how to spin on them, and it was so much fun. We got to go around to different elementary schools and perform for them. And yeah, it really was just like very warming my childhood heart for me, and to see that. And this is making me miss musical theater.
One quick question that I'm going to throw out to either Marcia or Michael. I do have, switching gears into the vertical.
Yes.
You said something, and it really threw me in Loving My Brother's Best Friend. I had never heard this term before. Did you coin it? Did the producers coin it? Or is this something that's actually out there? Your romanasky, as in romance fantasy boyfriend?
Romantasy, yeah.
I've never heard that before.
I know, me either. It was in the script. I thought it was so funny because, obviously it's just smut, basically.
Yeah.
And
the best kind.
It's so funny because I remember being maybe like 12 or 13 and writing little fan fiction stories on Wattpad. And so I saw so much of myself in Henley. And so I remember it took me back to like kind of just justifying as to like what I was writing. I'm like, no, it's like romance. I'm like, this is fantasy. Like, it's just normal. And it's the craziest thing you've ever read. And yeah, no, I loved that term so much.
I really found that very amusing. I have a lot more questions, but I'm going to either toss it to Marsha or Michael, whoever wants it.
Yeah, I'm going to toss it to me. I missed that
Michael.
in that show. I'm thinking, when did she say that?
Yeah.
I think she's talking to Connor.
Yeah, right at the lockers.
Okay. So speaking of that wonderful film, how was it working with Nick?
Oh, I thought we were talking. No, I'm kidding. It was so wonderful. Everyone's so great. Me and Nick were the only cast members from New York for that film in particular. So we were staying at the same hotel, so we would kind of see each other in the morning, like going to set. We're like,
did you go to LA to film? Was it at LA or?
Yes, it was in LA. Yeah. So it was my first time filming in LA as well, which was really, really cool. And I mean, just everyone on that set was so kind and patient and talented. And I was so intimidated going into it just because it was my first time filming in LA. It was one of my first verticals.
I was going to say, was it your first or had you done some before that?
So technically it was my second. I had worked the week before actually with Real Short, and that was my first time doing a vertical. It was just one day. It was super fast. And so I'm kind of glad it happened because I feel like it gave me the opportunity to kind of know what to expect and on a set like that. But I mean, just the second I got there, it was like, go, go, go. I think I got on the plane and we got emailed a new version of the script. So I remember literally just trying to get memorized on whatever scene we were filming next rather than thinking like 3-4 days in advance. Because I think the casting process was pretty quick too. So I had about a week to prepare for the entire thing.
And then they changed it.
Yeah, thankfully not too much, but enough where I, had to go back into my script and make changes. And it's funny, I had the script open. I was working on it on the plane, and the guy next to me also takes out a script, and I just see it at the corner of my eye. I don't think anything about it. And we land, and he takes out his headphones and turns to me, and he's like, "You filming a vertical too?" I was like,
how do you know that?
Everyone's doing it.
That wasn't Nick, was it?
It wasn't. No.
It was somebody else.
Just totally somebody else.
That'd have been so weird if it had been Nick.
Yeah.
Gosh, could you imagine?
I know.
I mean, that would have been less strange somehow. Like, we were both going to the same shoot. This guy was working with, I think, Real Short on like a totally different shoot, and he just so happened to be sitting next to me. I was like, this is crazy. But honestly, I'm just such a great first experience. I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about that team and Candy Jar in general. And yeah, it was a really great.
Were there any surprises? You said you'd had a Real Short one day, so you kind of knew what you were getting into, because it sounds like the Real Short was a much shorter part for you.
Yes.
But then, I mean, you were one of the mains.
Yeah. with Candy Jar.
Yeah.
My first time leading a series, I was in, I think, every scene, actually. There might have been that little moment.
Well, maybe one that you weren't, but I mean.
Right. Yeah, just like parts of a scene where Luca and Austin would talk, or Luca and Will would talk, and I would walk in. So I would have like little breaks here and there. But it was really, really good insight, I think, on what it's like to work on a television set, just because we were moving so fast. I want to say we were filming like 10 to 12 pages a day. And so it would be like 12 to 14-hour days. I would get there, be put in makeup and wardrobe, get put into a rehearsal, then get put back and like finish hair and makeup, and then we would go in for the take. Like, it was just
quick,
so quickly. Yeah. So it was really, really good practice for me, and really validating, just in terms of like, no, I love this and I want to do this all the time.
Yeah. Are you good with memorization?
I am.
Lucky you.
I am really.
Lucky you.
I have to write everything out, though. That's how I memorize. I literally have to write every word by word, all of my lines out, just so it sticks easier.
Well, you find out what works for you, because everybody's different. So
exactly.
Yeah. Well, I will throw it over to Marcia.
Well, thank you. I caught it. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you did, and don't lose it. Don't lose it.
Continuing with Loving My Brother's Best Friend, when we had Nick on, I remember watching it for the first time, and I told Nick, well, when the first scene, we really saw you.
Oh yeah.
So I wondered about intimacy coordinators and how that that aspect helped support you in this role.
Yeah, what an opening scene. First of all, our intimacy coordinator was so incredible. Sasha, she has an incredible resume. She is so talented. She is one of the kindest people you will ever meet. This was my first time doing intimacy in this way. I've kissed on camera and stuff like that, but nothing ever like this. And so I was pretty intimidated going into it. But I remember even before even getting to set the first day, Sasha gave me, I think it was a scene-by-scene breakdown of all of the scenes that include intimacy, what happens in that scene, what the shot is, what garments we would be needing and what that would require, who would be in the room. And I don't even think that I realized how important an intimacy coordinator is until I was experiencing that level of intimacy on camera. And just like having somebody to kind of speak up for you as well. I remember there was one shot or something that was added. I don't remember what the shot was. It wasn't super inappropriate, but I remember Sasha she pulled me aside and she was like, if you feel any kind of way about this, like say the word and I will make sure to say something. And I don't even think that I even got a word out. I think it just showed on my face. I was like, she was like, say less.
Yeah.
And so, oh my goodness, how important especially on a non-union set, where they might not have some of those rules and policies in place. So everyone, I mean, our director as well was just so understanding and kind. Everyone was so professional. And then Nick and I were just like giggling the whole time. I mean, like in between takes. For that first scene, we actually weren't in the room together for our actual intimacy. So I was just kind of staring at the wall. It was a completely closed set. So seeing that first scene was actually, I mean, and the final cut was like my first time seeing it, basically, which I thought was really interesting. But no, everything was done with such care and intention, and it never felt like it was there just to be there, which I really, really appreciate. And yeah, everyone was just so great and kind. So yeah.
And Nick also explained to the viewer, it looks very, very passionate and intimate, and that's what they want. However, he was saying that a lot of it's choreographed. So, it's sort of like a dance in a way.
Yes. Yeah. There were a couple times. Yeah. Because you would have to turn your head a certain way if the camera was on this side, or if it was on this side, you would have to turn a certain way. And so I think there were a couple moments where like both of our heads would just go like one way and we're like, oh, sorry. But yeah, it is very much hitting marks. And it was very different in the final cut. I mean, in the spiciest scene of the show, I hope you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
In Lily's bedroom, we had it was a yoga ball in between us. It was a bladed yoga ball. And so just the way that they hit it, and it you can't even tell. And movie magic.
Movie magic, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The little tricks of the trade that we never see. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't help but laugh. I mean, when you're like sitting in a yoga ball. Yeah.
So at the end, and I've been reading the fan comments and whatnot. People are asking for a sequel. Have you heard?
And one of those people is me. No, I haven't heard anything about a sequel. I don't know how Candy Jar really decides what gets sequels, and I don't know if that's something that's predetermined or if it's how well it does. I'm not totally sure. But I mean, I would do a feature film with that cast. It was so much fun. I would absolutely be open to a sequel. I could totally see them following Luca and Henley into college.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I think that the book, in the original book, it jumps in time from high school to when they're adults. So I feel like that space in between is very flexible to work with. And even the author of the book, after our series came out, was like, this makes me want to write a sequel. So I would love to see that. Candy Jar, you have my contact information. Loving my other brother's best friend. No, yeah, but that would be really fun. And if not that, I would love to work with them again in some capacity. So hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, and when you do hear news, be sure and contact Michael and come back and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And popping back into some things that that you have done in your past, one thing that interested me, again, as a New Yorker, I can't help it, is that you put down that you jumped double dutch.
As a child with undiagnosed ADHD, I loved jumping rope, and I would sit and watch. I would make my mom watch me. I would just be like, watch me jump. And I would sit there for hours and just double dutch and just jump. And they called me Tigger in my family when I was little, literally, because I was just like hopping around all the time. And so, yeah, I haven't been able to use that skill yet, but I'm waiting. And so I just leave it on my resume. Like, if anyone needs me to double
a vertical that does like a championship double dutch jump roping thing, and you're the main leading star, that'd be cool.
Exactly. Or Henley picks it up. Exactly.
You injured your ankle, and it's the recovery process and the stress of your boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
I might write this myself.
And double dutch is kind of it's kind of a not a lost art, but it's such a safe thing, because I remember doing double dutch. Well, that's the rope. You take the rope and you go outside on the stoop, and and you jump double dutch, and that is, I was happy to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one thing too that I actually recently just put on my resume is I've been taking combat classes for camera in the city. And then for Loving My Brother's Best Friend, I finally got to put that into play, which was really, really fun. And yeah, the jump roping and the hula hooping. I loved it. Bring it back.
So hula hooping. Now, how skilled are you in hula hoop? What's some of your tricks? What's your favorite trick to do?
Listen, I haven't picked up a hula hoop in God knows how long, but I feel like it's like riding a bike. Like, it would come right back to me.
I think so.
I don't even think that I knew any tricks. I think I could just do it for a really long time.
Well, just doing a hula hoop now is a skill.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's like an art in itself.
Right. And there's another New York thing I saw, that you were a stand-in on Saturday Night Live for.
Yeah.
That is so very cool. I cannot tell you.
It is a dream and a half being on those stages and just surrounded by those people. Again, as a New Yorker, like I would watch it every week. It's really just a dream and a half, and just to be like walking those halls is like a bucket list item for me. So yeah, season 50, last season I got I got to be in some really cool sketches.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I got to be doubled for Scarlett Johansson in the finale. Oh. And I doubled for Charlie XCX when she was on as a host too. And both of them were just so sweet. And it was just really, it's cool working with that cast and stuff.
That is, that being on a Saturday Night Live, even in the audience, is something that is so special. I never got the chance to do that while an audience was there. I tell people, you know, most people in New York, you take a theater class or an acting class just because the opportunities are there and it's fun. So I did do a people behind the camera. And so we got to go to studios like the soap opera studios and see and the news stations and the talk shows and things like that. So to be actually on the set and be a part of what brings that show to us, way cool.
Like just such a dream. I know. I remember when I first moved to the city, I went on as an audience member. Like I went and saw The View in an episode, and but then getting brought into Saturday Night Live, I think I started as like a background, and then they started using me as a stand-in and bringing me back. And so, I mean, it's just such a cool opportunity. I feel like stand-ins don't get a lot of credit, but I get to work so up close with the cast, and I get to act with some of them. And when they don't use me as a stand-in, sometimes they'll just put me in a sketch. And so I got to be in like the Gladiator musical sketch with Paul Mescal, and everyone on that set is just so, I mean, it is like a lesson watching it. These people are so talented at what they do. And yeah, it makes me fangirly.
So has that led you into possibly doing more comedy?
I've been more open to it. I've been doing a lot of like horror comedy recently. And then the film I co-created with some of my friends from Hell House actually ended up being a dramedy. And so it was cool to start in a horror genre and then use those skills and transition into like a less serious kind of project. But it was a lot of fun. It keeps you on your toes. And I'm definitely more open to it. I've never done sketch comedy, but I mean, I would love to try. I can't imagine. I give them so much credit.
Okay. Liz or Michael, where do you want me to go?
Go to Liz and then go to me.
Okay. Just touching a little bit on what Marcia had said earlier, you had graduated summa cum laude from Hunter College, but you did it in psychology, which I find very unique because of your love of horror, you're either using it to get background research, to write other things, or fill in for like a backstory for a character, or you're learning how to decompress after all this stuff. But do you actually, use some of these methods that you were taught to build into your characters?
I do. I think that it's so important just to give your character some backstory and raise the stakes a little. I think it translates so much on a camera. I mean, I will never forget my mentor calls the camera a lie detector. So you'll know if you're lying. And so I really do my best to, use my training and my knowledge to give the best representation of my characters. I always want to be honest. I always want to be accurate. And so Hell House, for example, Margaret was maybe in 1 or 2 scenes.
Yeah.
But it was the 1980s. It was found footage, so unlike anything I've ever shot before. And so I thought it was important to go back, and I found a bunch of like 80s home videos from teenage girls growing up, and they're getting ready in their rooms, and just to kind of get a glimpse into their lives and their intentions and what makes them happy and like keeps them entertained really does help so much. And I really love creating Spotify playlists for my characters in particular. Just, I think music also just takes you back so much and is so important in that psychology, because you're stepping into the character's shoes. And I think it can help a lot with preparation. And I never do like method or anything like that, but I love using a character's experiences to affect their current situation and whatever they're dealing with in the scene that they're in.
Just on what you were saying, I was laughing because I'm thinking to myself, it was Aquanet, Big Hair, and Cyndi Lauper for me. And I was already almost out of my teenage years, but
yes,
it was definitely that, and
there was a lot of Prince on there.
Oh yeah, and a bunch of other stuff too. But we were big into the hair metal bands and all that. Like Poison, Aerosmith, all that. So I know. On a different note, I know that Marcia had mentioned Saturday Night Live, but am I correct in seeing that you actually have some slightly credited stuff for Law and Order SVU?
I did 1 episode. I didn't have any lines, but I was recurring throughout the episode.
Right.
That another talk about bucket list item. I mean, they call that like the rite of passage for actors in New York City if you're on that set.
Oh yeah.
And I love SVU. I was obsessed with it as a teenager. I mean, I would just sit and watch reruns. And so when I finally got the opportunity to go on, it was just like unreal. I remember in 2018 or something, I ran into a production vehicle for SVU, and the driver must have seen me do like a double take and get like really excited. And so he like called me over and gave me like the production vehicle sign, and I took a picture with it. And I think it was like literally exactly, or like to the week, like a few years later, that I had booked an episode. And I remember it was my last semester of college. I would have to miss like the first entire week of school. I was like, sorry guys, you'll understand. All of my acting professors immediately understood. I mean, it was just such a cool gig. It was the episode was about a fraternity that targets this group of young college girls. And so I was in this group. And so I got to return to set every day that week and see the same people. And I got to see like Mariska and some other of the great, like Kelly and some of the other great cast members. And it was just such like an out of body experience for me.
Oh, I bet.
And I kept telling all like the producers and stuff. I was like, next time you see me, I will have lines. But I would love to go back on that show. I ended up going on an episode of original Law and Order Original, and it was some of the same people. Those sets are just so cool, and it's very New York City. Like they have their own production studio by the piers on the water, and it's really, really cool. So, and that's actually what got me eligible to join the union as well.
Right, because you actually have those credited under you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that absolutely is phenomenal. And I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for Marcia to ask this, and she still hasn't. So I'm going to steal it. you live in New York. What is your favorite pizza?
That was next.
Oh,
You're dead.
Like, you mean like type of pizza, or you mean like where I go for pizza?
where you go? Yeah, and what type?
Scar's Pizza, Lower East Side. Their hot honey slice. It's pepperoni and Mike's hot honey.
Mm.
You have to wait on a line to get it, but it is so good. It's not super thick. It's just, it's pretty thin, but it's large, and it's heavenly, to be honest. I feel like I am a fake New Yorker because I don't go for pizza often. But I also really like, oh my gosh, there's a place by me in Washington Heights that serves giant slices of pizza, and they're really famous for it. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name right now. It's going to come to me as soon as I leave. But that's also just a good one to go to, like right by my house. And yeah, I love a good New York City pizza slice. But now I need to know your favorite pizzas.
Mine is probably, you're going to laugh, it's probably ours that are homemade. My brother-in-law used to work at a pizza restaurant when he was going through junior high and early college. So he knows how to throw them. He knows how to make the dough. And we have a pizza baking, thing outside. So he goes and he puts it, on the stone and puts it in, and we can all choose our own toppings. That to me is my favorite. If I had to go with other place, it would probably be New York Pizza, which is a franchise here that was originally created in New York.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's a good answer. Homemade. Yeah. That's fair. I'll take it.
But now, before Marsha literally boots me off the program, I'm going to switch it to Michael where I'm safe.
Exactly. Now, I may have this wrong, but am I correct that you did a Google commercial?
Yes, you guys more. This is so good. I'm so impressed. Yeah,
I couldn't find it, but I saw it listed, so I don't know what happened in it. I tried to find it and I couldn't. So
You're not alone, Michael.
Oh, you couldn't find it either? Okay.
No.
Me either.
I haven't found it either.
Did you ever see it on air?
Nope.
No.
So it was actually, it was technically a commercial, but it was an internal commercial. So it was basically like a role play type situation for people who are training to work with Google.
Okay, that explains it. Okay.
Yeah, so if you become a manager and you have to go through the training, you're gonna see a video of me.
Oh, okay.
But that was really fun.
It might be worth it.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of commercial work. I haven't been able to, but that was like one of my first experiences, and it was so cool. We shot in their like home studio that they have on the Upper West Side, and it was just a gorgeous space. And they really pump stuff out over there. It seemed like they have the same kind of team. And it's funny because one of the reasons that I got cast is because the casting director worked at a company at like where my day job is. So in between gigs, I work as like a fancy receptionist in the city, and I work for a lot of different companies. And the casting director just so happened to work at one of those companies. And so when my audition got sent in, he was like, I know her, unconsciously. So just a great example of how putting yourself out there and meeting people can get you literally get you a job. But just such a fun experience. And I would love to work with that team again. And I think that was my first commercial as well. So it would, I mean, that script work is so different than a film.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Even though I was still playing a character.
Yeah, but still it's well, that explains why I couldn't find it. So I guess I'm going to have to apply for Google management or something like that.
One of us will have to do it for the team.
Yeah, for the team.
Yeah.
But
if I find it though, you're getting it. You're the first one.
Good.
Cool. Now, let's go our last round. Start with Marcia, because I can't believe what time it is, and it's like, oh,
I know it's been going
fast.
We're yapping.
Well, let's do one more. Sarah Bareilles and her show Girls5eva.
Yeah.
And she, of course, another role that she did the live version of Jesus Christ Superstar, which I adore.
It was so good.
Yeah. And so you had a chance to be on set there, I understand.
Yeah. So also just got really something that I just got really lucky with. I was originally cast as background for that episode. And about 3 days before I went on the set, no. Oh my gosh, wait, this is a crazy story. So I like a week before I was supposed to go on set, I got a call from the casting company, and they were basically like, hi, so I know we cast you as, I don't even know what it was. It was like singing girl number 3. We actually, the director picture picked you, and she wants to see your work because we want to give you a named character role. And this was insane to me. And so I was like, absolutely, sent them over my stuff. They told me that I was going to be in a scene with one of the main characters. I wasn't watching the show at that time. I knew Sarah Bareilles was in it, but I didn't know what character I was going to be working with. And then I think a few days before I was supposed to get to set and film, they ended up giving me like a fitting rehearsal to the studio. So I had to leave my day job, go to a studio in Queens and, get fitted for my costume, take a COVID test before I got on set. And then I left and went back to work. And as soon as I got back to my day job, I got a call from the casting company, and they were like, actually, they're going to film it right now.
Oh, wow.
And so they bussed me back I had to leave work again, and they bussed me back to Queens. Then I had to go get another COVID test, a rapid COVID test in Manhattan, and then go back to Queens. They immediately changed me, and then they threw me in the rehearsal room with the director. And that actually was my first experience on a big television set. And so I remember being very humbled very quickly, because I think the director walked over and was like, you, whatever your name is, over here. I was like, okay. And then they were just like, okay, we're bringing first team in. And then I remember it was just like chaos, and Sarah Bareilles walked in, and I was like, where am I? What's happening? They gave me some notes, and I just remember leaving and feeling like whiplash. Like I was just like, is this what the television industry is like? And it is. And so I feel like it was a really great first experience. It was a lot. But I think that it was like I said, like humbling in a way, because I was like, oh no, this is realistic, and this is what I need to expect from this industry, and I need to be on my toes. But oh my gosh, what a dream to be on that show. And Sarah Bareilles was so nice. And I was a big fan of her growing up too.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Wow. What experiences you're already having. You have to come back and
yeah, no, absolutely.
And one last thing before I go, of course, thank you for being here with us. Time has flown. And I have created a tiny mermaid that is a Mets fan. She follows the Mets. So I'm going to have to send that to you so you can show your parents. You don't have to look at it if you don't want to.
Absolutely. I would love it.
I would love it. I'll send it.
No, my family would love it too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Victoria. Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Liz.
Liz, yeah, Liz.
I just have a couple quick final questions. One, I had seen a picture of you on the red carpet, and you were there for, I guess it was the Dane Floyd award for,
Yeah.
oh, I can never say the name right, Oniros Film Awards.
Yeah, that was actually one of the first shorts I did in the city, and we got a little Best Short Film Award. Oniros is, I think it's like a little IMDb qualifying award.
Yeah.
And they were so great. I met a lot of really cool people at that festival, and we won Best Short Film, which was just so incredible. And that was my first win for an award too, as well. So that was really, really cool. That was a great team as well.
You know, it's great to have those little things, you know, starting up under your belt as they get bigger and bigger, you know.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Oh yeah, no,
chugging along.
So yeah, definitely. You're more than chugging along. You're getting up there quite well.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wanted to mirror everybody else's comments and say thank you so much for taking the time, and it's been a pleasure kind of digging through your closet and pulling out all these little fun memories.
My demons. Yeah.
Yes, your demons, exactly. Your zombies that were in the closet, or your killer clowns.
My mermaids.
Yep. So thank you again.
I love it. Thank you for your very thoughtful questions. I really, really appreciate you inviting me on.
Well, you were our pleasure. Michael, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, well, just, thank you. And was there anything you wanted to add before we go? Like you had any announcements or anything, or is everything? You don't want us to pull anything else out of your closet and find the other scary clowns that are there.
No, I have some secrets that I'm hiding. No, I'm kidding. Just I have a lot of projects coming out really soon. So if you want to see those, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm most active on there. I co-created a film called Sometimes Candles Burn. It's the first film that I've kind of worked on, and hopefully that'll be coming out soon. So that Instagram is Sometimes Candles Burn. That'll be a little short film. And my website as well. It's just my first and last name.
Yeah, I've got them go scrolling down at the bottom, and they're also on our webpage. So if you can't pick them up there, you can pick them up on our webpage, ndbmedia.net. So everyone, thank you for coming. Number 8 this week.
Whoop, whoop.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye, everyone.